For my professional development resource, I chose to look at snap circuits from the ELENCO website, and I will be showing you their website and the snap circuit product today. On this website, there are endless options of tools and kits to create with and build. I noticed there were many options with filters to help your search under brands, and then click ELENCO. And then if you look on the left side over here, there's all these options to how you can filter them, what you're looking for, mechanical kits, parts, so lots of options on this website. It was hard to narrow my search with this many options for STEM related kits, but I decided to choose snap circuits. So then if you go to the top, you click snap circuits. Because I was able to work with one of these in my second grade practicum class last semester, I only got to play around with it a few times with students, but it sparked my curiosity for sure. It was also very engaging for the students. I was able to see the teacher introduce the snap circuit to the students, and all of their faces just lit up when they saw it. Since the circuit says it's for students 8 and up, and second graders are usually 7 to 8, the teacher took out all the pieces and showed the students the basics and the etiquette when they were going to be using it. The snap circuit she bought was the regular Snap Circuits Junior, the SC100 model, so if you scroll down this one right here, it has over 100 electronic projects and over 30 parts, just like it says right here. I will show you a short video of the snap circuit and one of the projects I was able to build while working with a couple of the students. So here's the video. This is the box it comes in. And here's all the parts. They all have a place in the plastic box. Here's the manual with all the different projects. And this is the project I was able to do with a couple of the students. They were able to complete fairly easily. And as you can see, this board, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, all the way down. And that's how they line up, where they're supposed to put each part on the manual. So that's pretty easy too. And then this was the one they got to do with the fan. They were able to see how the fan started to spin based on the objects they were using. It was pretty cool, and they were really excited about it. Okay, go back to here. I envision using this in my classroom like my practicum teacher did. The main problem is it is only one board, so students will have to take turns using it. However, I can see it being used in small groups with stations or individually during things like free time. The instructions manual is very clear with colored pictures and labels for each piece, so even the second graders were able to figure out the projects on their own. The snap circuit can teach students about electricity as a form of energy, how to control the flow of energy, identifying the path of electricity and how to repair that path. It also shows students how to transform electrical energy into light, sound, and motion, and allows them to decide if their materials are conductors or insulators of electricity. Students will be able to draw and label circuit diagrams and send and receive messages in Morse code. So it's a pretty cool learning activity resource. This resource is very affordable, as you can see. This one that my teacher had is $36.95, and then if we go back to the page with the other snap circuits, you can see this one's $25.95, just the beginner kit, so it only has 20 projects and less pieces, but still has all the basic aspects. This would be, and it's for younger ages, as you can see. And then there's more advanced ones. This one right here has 300 projects. This one's a little more expensive. I think it's like $45. But it's just based on what grade you're in, which kind of model you're going to look for. But I did like this basic one right here that my teacher used. I would not buy an entire class set, probably, but I might buy like 3 or 4 for students to work in small groups. Or even one was fine in the second grade class. I think it just depends on what grade level you're buying these for. because it depends on what they're learning at the time. And if you're buying a snap circuit yourself as a teacher, if you don't have the option to buy it yourself, then there's definitely other options like grants and the donors choose. I actually found an example teacher in California. She was able to get $407 on donors choose by writing her little explanation. In her kindergarten class, even kindergartners were able to use one of these kits, and she was able to get 5 kits actually. So that was pretty cool. And she didn't write much, but people know about them and they're pretty cool. So they were able to donate $407 for this class and for her to get them. So that's definitely an option if you can't buy it yourself. The pieces on the snap circuit are made of plastic, therefore they'd be hard to break, which is perfect for these younger students. However, pieces could still break or get lost. So there is a 2-year warranty on all parts and services. Right here. You can also always buy certain parts separately if you only lost a couple of pieces. So right here, here's replacement parts. And then here it talks about service and repair, and contacting them as well for help on those kind of situations. This resource is very easy to use with very specific instructions and labeled parts. My second graders had no problem following instructions step by step. It was also easy for them to take out and put back all the pieces because there was a specific place for each one and the sizes were exactly, so they couldn't fit different pieces into those places. This really helped the students make sure they did not lose any of the pieces at the end of each time they played with them. One of the coolest parts about this resource is that it has manuals in different languages. So I'll go back to the product. That my teacher used. Here it shows you the different manuals. They also, in the different languages, they're French, Spanish, and they also have the manual in English to download. So if you lose the manual, you can find it on this website as well, and you'll always have it. And also it says bilingual versions of this product are available, but not through this website, so that's an option too. Also, each piece of the circuit is labeled with different colors, different numbers, and different shapes, so diverse students have multiple options for figuring out each project. I had one ELL student who I did one of the projects with, and she had trouble reading the instructions at first and kept needing my help with everything, but once I showed her how to match up the pictures and the instructions to the pieces she had no problem with it at all and just was able to figure out each of the projects just by looking at the pictures. And if I download the manual, I'll show you. Here's all the warnings too. They have a lot of warnings in different color codes. And then here's a diagram of all the pieces and what they're called and what they look like. So this could be really helpful for your students in showing them right off the bat. And then here's all the projects listed on the page if you're looking for specific things. You can go to that page to find it. And then here's how the projects were. My teacher would have just one project clipped shut so students couldn't move on to the next project. And so the students were on the same page at first, but she allowed certain students to work ahead on different projects if they were faster at figuring them out. So that was a good option too. Another differentiation aspect I found was on the ELENCO website under the Community tab, so right up here. It was called Snap Circuits Designer, right here. And this is where you can download the designer program to make your own snap circuit designs on a computer. I tried this to see how it worked, and the link takes you to a Word doc that allows you to easily move around all the pieces that are part of the kit and place them on the grid that's also on the Word doc. But it does not allow you to see what your design does, which means you would probably need a snap circuit kit, and then you would go into the Word doc and make whatever design you made on the board. So you already know that it works. And then the cool part about this is you can send in your design and they showcase designs on here. So if I click design now, and you go down, these are different designs that people have made. And they'll show you on here. So they're pretty cool. And the kids would be really excited about that. This resource can definitely be distracting to other students who are not getting to play with it because of the noises it makes. I know that the speaker and the fan even you'd think that was kind of quiet, but it was definitely distracting when one of the stations was trying to do reading group, and one of the two students were doing this, working on the snap circuit, and they were making a lot of noise, and the teacher had them work on a different project in the snap circuit that was quieter because it was too loud for that time of day. But it just depends on the time of day if it's acceptable. And I also noticed that they started to get more used to it as we went on, so it wasn't terrible. And then the snap circuit does not require much setup or take down. It is easy to take out of the box and put back even for second graders. My practicum teacher usually gave the students about 2 minutes to put away the items, and that was plenty of time, all the pieces and stuff. This is just a great resource because it makes students curious. When I did the light project, where the circuit made a light bulb turn on, with one of my students, they were fascinated with how the light would turn off if just one of the pieces was taken out of place or just barely moved off out of order or something like that. One of the students actually went around and moved every single piece because they were so curious as to what was happening and if they moved every single piece, how that would work out. So I just thought it was really cool that they came up with that out of their own curiosity. Definitely an interesting kit, and kids are really excited about it. Like I said earlier, snap circuits teach students about electronics and the flow of energy, which are present in everyday items like toasters, remote controls, light bulbs, radios, etc. There's so many items that you could list off to students, or you could have them list them off as a warm-up activity. Just get them excited about working with the snap circuit and then also connecting it to everyday life and the items that they use every day. And I was able to find an electronic circuits workshop, and like the one on this page, and it connected perfectly with the snap circuits. It works hand in hand with the one, I think it's the model that I used in the second grade practicum class because the projects matched up. So that was really perfect for me because I was just seeing how I would specifically use this in the classroom, and I actually found more than I was hoping for. This lesson or unit included learning goals and essential questions, as you can see, and it had specific topics to cover, and it even gave notes like what you should be expecting from it. And then it references the snap circuit many times with specific project numbers, like right here, project number 11, project number 12, project 53. I'll just scroll down for a little bit so I can show you. And it even gave exact pictures, what equipment you're going to need. Here's the snap circuit they use. It might be a little different. It tells you the setup. So I just thought this was really cool. Here it tells you even 21st century skills. I just thought this was really cool. This is something that I would definitely look up if I had the snap circuit. Here you go. Here's the snap circuit right here. Probably, yep, the same one that my teacher had. So I just thought this was a really cool resource and something that you could use because I definitely found it useful. Okay, I'll go back to the main website. So this is the website. This is the model I was looking at. And I hope that you found this useful. I hope you'll want to use this in your classroom one day because it's definitely something that I'm considering working in my classroom if I can afford it or find a way to purchase it through a grant or something like that. Thank you for listening, and let me know if you have any questions.